What's up, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today, I wanted to talk about the recent news on Red Dead Redemption's sort of release on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, and the whole controversy around it. And I know I feel like there hasn't um, been already enough said what already has been said. A lot of people are upset, rightfully so. It's $50 for something that isn't even a remaster or remake. No 4K, no 60 frames per second update. The three Xbox in the Xbox versions is backwards compatible with the 360, and those have 4K upgrade, or that version has a 4K upgrade. No frame rate upgrade, but a resolution upgrade. But from I've heard that even just at a 4K upgrade, that's visually it looks pretty damn good. And I don't know. I've heard really good things about that version of Red Dead for backwards compatible on Xbox. But it's just messed up because you could technically still get that game on Xbox for $30 digitally, and it's just very disappointing because the thing I want to touch on the most is the quote that Strauss Zelnick, I believe is the head honcho or whatever, the CEO of Take Two, and he basically there was a quote that said that went around that said that the price for this port or re-release, whatever, that it's market accurate, something like that. Basically saying that that price is the price that you know a lot of other, I guess, publishers or developers price their games at, if it's that kind of port of a game. And I don't know. I guess that's what he meant. That's the thing I really want to get into because I just don't understand where this line of thinking or logic is coming from. Because to say that $50 for a port of an old game that's more than 10 years old now, with no visual enhancements, no upgrade, no redone anything, to say that price is market accurate, it just it just sounds ridiculous because not too long ago, just a week and a half ago, I just bought the Arkham collection, which includes Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, for $5. Granted, that was the sales price during right now PlayStation's summer sale or whatever, but $5 for two classic PS3, Xbox 360 generation games with hours of content that look as good, and it's a remaster of an older version. It's not 100% awesome remastered. There's a lot of people who have mixed receptions on that remastered, but it does run at a higher not frame rate, resolution, and the 360 PS3 version was made in Unreal 3, and for that remaster they transitioned to Unreal 4, I believe, for to in order to remaster that game, or to put it up to par with the engines or whatnot. The lighting also has some kind of rework, but that's also argued if that was at all needed for that version of the game. Um, Not at 60 frames, which it would have been great. You can, from what I understand, play it at 60 frames if you don't patch it or if you leave it unpatched. But regardless, there's more work done on those games than this, assumingly this port of Red Dead Redemption seemingly has had. And it's $5, and granted that sales price, but the regular price for those two games, or the standard price right now, is $20, and that's both digitally and physically. So you can get go out a physical copy right now at a GameStop or Best Buy or your local mom and pop shop, and if they have a copy, and get that game for $20. Again, that's two great games. And I'm gonna go layers deeper because it does for me. It doesn't stop here with just this example of a game. To take it a little deeper, the Batman Arkham Trilogy collection that's coming on the Nintendo Switch. later this year during the fall. I believe that's going to be priced around $50 or $60. Okay, three. Those are three all-time classic, 2 generation ago games, and I don't know if those would technically be considered remasters. I think those would be more ports because, again, the resolution and frame rate, that's only so possible on the Switch. But to me, that's more of a fair price than this Red Dead Redemption because just in terms of content alone, and again, those games are from the same generation. Like, it really makes no sense how this quote just comes out. It says it's market accurate. Like, these are three. The Batman Arkham Trilogy collection is is those combined. That's giving you more hours of play than Red Dead in its entirety. Unless you're just the type of person that just goes there and just plays poker all the time in Red Dead, content and hours alone and story alone, like that's way more value for your buck than getting this port of Red Dead Redemption. So it just kind of ridiculous to me to say that's market accurate. And what's even crazier to me is that from all the publishers and developers that could fumble this bag more than anyone would I would think Activision Blizzard. But from a lot of them, they've been actually pretty damn good with the remakes or remasters, mostly remakes, because they actually put in the work. Crash Trilogy remake, the Spyro remakes, and even Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. Like, those are faithfully recreations of classic, old games. And granted, those games are much older, and you could definitely argue those games require um, more work in order to see a re-release or put them in a more modern zeitgeist. But that's the thing. Activision really did not have to do that. Like, right now on PlayStation, they're re-releasing these PlayStation 2 and PlayStation Classics every so often, and you can either buy them individually a la carte, or you could get them through the premium subscription on PlayStation Premium. They just released the freaking what do you call it? The stupid uh there's a show for it that just came out. The name is escaping me. But anyway, they released those old PS1 games and Twisted Metal. There you go. I don't know why I struggle so bad to remember. But those are just ports of the classic games. And there's probably some rework because you could obviously have a rewind feature in those games. I honestly don't know if those have a rewind feature, but a lot of the classic games do have a rewind feature. And so it's like when you think about it, Activision really did not have to go in and actually faithfully remake those games. Like, and I think Sony had a lot um, influence in it because Crash Trilogy remake was a timed exclusive, and you've seen Sean Layden walk around with a Crash shirt, and I wouldn't be surprised there was discussions to want to bring the IP back, but really bring it back in a significant way and not in a kind of whimper. So yeah, man, it's like those games were released at full price, but those were more than worth them purchasing at $60 because those were faithful remakes. I th- and really the closest thing when he says market accurate, the closest thing that I could think of that would closely relate to that is The Last of Us Remastered, and I'm talking about the remaster that came out on PS4 almost a decade now or so, and PlayStation 4, which was just a remastered of a game that just came out the year before in 2013, and that was priced at $50. And but that's the thing. That's a genuine remaster. Like, people felt how they felt at the time about that remastered and spending $50. I believe it was originally $60, and then they cut the price to 50. So they were kind of saying like, yeah, maybe that's a little much. Like, I remember I got like a message, I think, from PSN telling me like, oh, here's a $10 gift card as a as a voucher for the discount for The Last of Us Remastered, and everyone else who ordered it online or pre-ordered it physically got a little discount if they ended up paying $60. So even they saw, but regardless, it's like that's a genuine remaster because you have that game has a resolution upgrade, and that game also has a frame rate upgrade. You could play that at a high frame rate at 60 frames per second. You could play it at a higher resolution, and I'm not sure if there's much beyond those upgrades, but at least that's something. And that also Naughty Dog themselves went in and made the game from the ground up to have it work for the PS4, and that was their sort of really first test bed and working with the PlayStation 4 before they ended up working with Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us Part 2. And that, yeah, that's really like the closest example, but again, that's more of a genuine remaster. And then when you think of The Last of Us remake proper, that was $70, but that's a full-fledged remake. And people would still argue if that was really worth it. A lot of people say it is because it's a great classic game and it's a really meticulously detailed remake that more than justifies the purchase. And of course, the things with the dual sense looking a lot better, the sound, the 3D audio, and all these things. And again, Naughty Dog going in there and actually remaking it themselves, not handing it over to some B tier studio. And that's the thing, the studio that they handed off this port of Red Dead, I wouldn't maybe consider them the B tier. I guess in maybe they would kind of be considered because they've made a lot of kind of games that I know these more smaller kind of games. The one notable one that I've heard they made was Little Big Planet on Vita, which is actually a great game. That's a great game and a great version of Little Big Planet on the handheld, and so I could probably think that that studio is probably more than capable of handling something like maybe even a remaster or just like making their own version of Red Dead if they wanted to. If they were able to do it with Little Big Planet, very different game, but that was a really fun game. And it's just, yeah, man. Again, these examples that I gave just now, like, it really just doesn't make sense to me how you could come to the conclusion that $50 is market accurate for the value you're setting on this. Like even the GTA trilogy remaster remake, the trash remakes that you just released like a year, 2 years ago now, like that was I believe $50 or $60, but at least that, I don't know, even though it was very terrible, but in some ways that was kind of justified just by the fact that they actually kind of worked on it. At least it was at least it felt like a different version of a game, not a great version of the game, not the best version. Probably the best thing about it were the controls, because now you didn't have these weird controls that you were wrestling with like the original versions. But and I believe that it's much more better. The upgrades have improved on it significantly, and I would hope they've had improved on it. But yeah, it's been some time now, and that game has been on sale, and I remember getting that game on sale because there was no way I was gonna pay full price on that. And with this Red Dead, like I would like to check it out, but I'm not paying $50 for it, and especially on considering that you can get it cheaper, like really thinking about it is like, why would you want to do this? And the shitty thing is that this is gonna sell anyway because the GTA trilogy remaster remake sold over 10 million copies, I believe. And so there was really no lessons learned, like um, from all the pushback and all the videos, people sharing the glitches and all the crap that was shown, people still bought it. And and as I guess as long as this port of the game is not broken, I guess, I don't know, I guess that would be okay to buy for some people. But yeah, like it just sucks because it's gonna make money anyway, or at least it's gonna sell anyway. And the people who are gonna, the people at least I trust that are gonna stick by their guns are like more of the gamer or whatnot. The people who are caught up with this and are not happy with this, but a lot of the your normies that aren't in tune with this, they're just gonna see it on the store and they're gonna be like, yeah, why not? You know, Red Dead 2, like it's well-known IP at this point, Rockstar, renowned studio. You know, people are gonna buy it regardless, and it just sucks because seemingly there's gonna be no lessons learned. But I don't know. I'm kind of hoping out luck because Rockstar has, like, they release when it comes to new big games like Red Dead Redemption 2 really being the last big one. You know, when they release a new game, like, it's big. Everyone's talking about it. It's great and their games are great. But recently these remasters or there's ports and remasters of GTA Trilogy is just, and some of these other decisions that they've been making, and it's just very dumb. Like I just been hearing it is like, why respect your history, you know? And that's something I already been heard said, but it's like you can't emphasize enough. Respect your history, man. And again, all these examples that I gave with the prices, to me, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm off base with some of these price um, comparisons? You know, I don't know. I'm still baffled that I got those Arkham games for $5. I could get the sale that's going on right now. I could get a lot of classic remasters of old PS3 generation games for super cheap. Like Devil DMC, I could get right now for $10 on the store, and a lot of more newer remasters of games like even DMC 5, the special edition for that, the PS5 version, 60 frames per second version of that. Um, it's like I've seen it on sale for $20. The regular price, I believe, is maybe $40, but that's still way cheaper. And that game just came out last year. If they wanted to, they could have charged $50, $60, but they don't. And I may have to double check on it because for Devil May Cry 5, but I've seen it on sale for $20, and that game you could still, even if you don't want to pay for it, you could get it on PlayStation Plus, on PlayStation Plus Extra. So it's like, to me, this just, those $50 does not make sense. It's not market accurate. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I babble long enough. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys.